Hi, everybody. I'm just going to give it one more second here, see if anybody else hops on. We're having a nice, kind of cloudy but warm day. Oh, we get someone else on. Awesome. All right, just a couple more moments here to see if we get anybody else hop on. Just to give you a little bit inside scoop. Today, instead of doing something on the chair, I'm going to try to do something on the ground. So I'm sorry if you don't have stretchy pants on and that's just not in the cards for whatever reason, or maybe you have a dress or a skirt on or something like that. So if you need to be in the chair, A-okay. If you think you can pull off being on the ground and your hips are feeling a little tight, if you have any like big books, I found these two on my bookshelf. You can use that for like a little seat, and that might be helpful. But if you need to sit in your chair, A-okay. I've thought it through and we can do everything in the chair. I'll kind of cue that too. All right, we'll get started. We've got a few people. Okay. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do is bring our legs wide apart. And so if you're doing this in your chair, you can step your feet really, really wide. That's okay too. And we're gonna do a little bit of a neck stretch. So we'll bring the left hand out with the thumb facing down, and then we'll bend at the elbow and bring the hand to the lower back. And then what we're gonna do is let the head fall in the opposite direction. So right ear falls over to right shoulder. And the more the muscles can ease into the stretch, the better. So you can help your muscles a little bit just by really focusing your mind there, sending some breath there. Remember, if you're doing this in a chair, A-okay. Knees can still be bent, just feet far apart. All right, and now what we'll do is we'll just lean in a little bit to the right. And if you're sitting on the ground, your hand might come to your leg. If you're in a chair, maybe to the armrest, or your hand can hold the side of the chair, or maybe if you have a table you can kind of lean into, just for your arm to support you. And just explore leaning a pinch more, without overdoing it. We can use our breath as a tip off if we've gone too far, right? If the breath kind of feels stifled or fast. All right, and now let's just move the neck a little bit. We'll look up and over our left shoulder. And then we'll come out of the lean, gaze back to the front, and let the left arm go. Ooh, maybe shake it out a little bit. And then we'll do it to the right side. Bend the elbow, back of hand to back. Left ear over to left shoulder. Watch your breath. Watching your breath, even counting your breath, is like a little mental fast, right? It gives our thoughts a break. So we come back after our stretch, we can be a little bit more thoughtful, quiet on the mind, a little bit more organized, right? Less thoughts, better memory retrieval too. All right, now we'll just lean a little bit, resting your hand into something, whether that's the table, the armrest, your leg, the chair. Turn on that breath. All right, now we'll do the little gaze thingy where we look up and over to the right. And then we come out of the lean, head come back to center, relax the arm. Okay, now we're gonna move into the wrists a little bit. So make the number 4 and then wrap the fingers around the thumb and then make circles with your wrists. And then switch directions. And then imagine you're flicking water off your fingertips. Okay, and now we're gonna do some stretches with our wrist. First, in front of us. So if you can lean into a table, that'd be great. So if you're not sitting on the ground. So if you're sitting on the ground, you'll just kind of lean with your hands down on the ground. If you're by a table, if you're not on the ground, go ahead and stand up, right? So as you bring your arms down, you can kind of straighten your arms as you press into the ground, right? And then just bring a little bit of your weight over your arms, feeling just a little bit of stretch to the palms, really spreading the fingers wide. Like you just asked a really exuberant 5-year-old how old they were. All right, and then lean out of that. And then we'll rotate the hands. So let's see. This is hard for me to mirror, right? The right hand will rotate clockwise, the left counterclockwise, so that the fingertips are facing behind you. If the wrists are tight, it might be more out on an angle. And then we'll do the same thing. Ease into it, bringing your body weight forward. We don't want to hurt the wrists. So just enough pressure where you can feel some stretch in the palm and the fingers and in the inside of the forearm. Keep the fingers spreading and pressing down. All right, slowly lean back and away. Let the wrists unravel. Little jellyfish fingers. Okay, one more. So we're going to bring the top of our hand to press down. We'll do that to both sides, right? So see if you can bring the fingers closer to your legs, right? Or kind of right by the edge of the table if you're leaning into a table. Enough where as you lean forward, you can feel the tops of the hands pressing down. And they might not come all the way down, right? That's okay. Want to be gentle with the wrists, just enough to get a little stretch. And if you can, use the muscles in your arms to try to straighten your elbows just a little bit, even if it means you back off a little bit from the leaning forward. All right. Shake it up. More jellyfish. Okay. So now we'll bring the legs closer together. It's okay if you're in a chair and your knees are still bent. And then we're going to do our figure 4 stretch. So we'll bring the right ankle to cross over the left thigh. If you're sitting in a chair and it's tricky, try to sit up on something a little bit higher, right, if the hips are tight. And then if you're on the ground, you might not need to bend this left knee at all. If you're already feeling something in the outer left hip, you've already gone far enough. Just sit up nice and tall. The hands can rest on the shins or maybe the knee or the foot. If you want to go deeper, left knee bends. And then let's go ahead and lean back so that our fingers are pointing away from us and our palms are pressing down. So you can just hold, if you're in a chair, you can just hold the bottom of the seat or press into the seat kind of right behind you with your palms. And what we'll do is we lengthen our arms, we lift our chest. Turn on the breath. And then maybe you look up too. And then bring the chin back down, lean forward. Right, if you're sitting on the ground, you can straighten that left leg. And then we'll bring the right foot down, come back to neutral, and then we'll do the other side. The left ankle crosses to the right thigh. Ooh, see how much tighter this hip is on me? Got my knee way up here. All right, so you could stay nice and tall. If you want to go deeper, bend the right knee, the right foot might lift some. And then this time for the second side, let's press the hands down into the ground or into the chair with the fingertips facing the seat. So kind of the opposite way. And really focus on straightening the arms, pressing down, lifting and spreading the chest nice and wide. Maybe the gaze comes up. And then chin to chest. Bring the torso back up. If the left leg is bent, you can straighten it and both legs down. Okay, so now we're going to come to a little cross-leg shape. And if you're in the chair, just cross your shins, right? That's okay. And then what we'll do is the left hand will come behind me and the right hand will reach over for the left knee. I'll sit up nice and tall, right, not leaning back. And then as I twist, I'll gaze over the left shoulder. Nice full inhales and exhales. See if you can get a little core engagement on your exhale. And then we'll untwist and we'll go to the other side. Right hand will tent behind you, the left hand reaches over for the opposite knee. Sit up tall, gaze over the right shoulder. Now. Okay, now we're going to do a little mindfulness breathing. And this breath kind of has a funny name. It's called alternate nostril breathing. But it's where we kind of practice breathing in through one side of the nostril, exhaling through the other. Breathe in through that same side, exhale on the other. So we're switching sides on the exhale. And you can use your hands to help you, right? Block one nostril when you're trying to breathe through the other side. Block the other, right, accordingly. But you don't need to, especially if right now with germs or wherever you are, kind of touching your face freaks you out. You can just, right, mind over matter, breathe through one side, exhale at the other. And while it may not be as effective as blocking, you'll notice that you can do a pretty good job just with your mindful superpower. So sit up nice and tall. Focus the gaze to one spot or close the eyes. And then we'll start by breathing in through the right side. Exhaling through the left. Breathing in through the left. Exhaling through the right. Breathe in right. Breathe out left. Breathe in left. Breathe out right. Same side, breathe in. Switch for the breath out. Same side, breathe in. Switch, breathe out. Stay, breathe in. Switch, breathe out. Stay, breathe in. Switch, breathe out. Stay, breathe in. Switch, breathe out. Keep going. Stay as you breathe in. Switch as you breathe out. You might notice that one nostril feels like it's a bit more fluid. One might feel a little clogged. And that's okay. All normal. Your body actually switches the dominant nostril every period of time or so, right? It might be minutes. It could be an hour. It's different for every person. Of course, there are other factors like allergies and colds. All right, if you were using your hands, you can rest them down. And just breathe normally now through both nostrils. Notice the breath as it enters your nose, travels all the way down to the lowest part of your belly and back out on your exhale. All right, well, that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have a great week. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and I'll see you on Friday. Take care.